Good morning, students. Today we are going to do 1.5 Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc is very inspiring story about a French girl. She was also known as Maid of Orleans. She was born to Jacques and Isabelle in a farmer's family in northern France. John claimed to be having receiving the visions from the angels or godly voices, and she was being instructed to support Charles VII and recover France from the English domination. John was later on sent along with the army men, and they were successful in that. John fought 13 battles, of them 9 she won. So this is an interesting story about Joan of Arc. In this lesson, we are just going to see a scene of that, how Robert is there, Stewart is there, and John is there, and how they are discussing about sending John to fight against the England. So let's see the picture of John. She is also known as Saint. See her statue. See how she during the fight, how she was commanding the army. This is a scene. She is there standing in front of the king or the dauphin who is about to become the king. This is the time when she was claiming that she is having meeting with the angel. This is the picture of Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, written by George Bernard Shaw, was an Irish playwright and critic. He wrote more than 60 plays during his lifetime, including major works such as Man and Superman, Pygmalion, Saint John. He was the leading dramatist of his time. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1925. Now, he was an English writer. His name is George Bernard Shaw. He was an Irish playwright. Irish is an Indo-European language. He wrote more than 60 plays during his lifetime. So, more than 60 plays he has written. And his famous works are Man and Superman, Pygmalion, and Saint John. You can see over here. This was written in 1923. George Bernard Shaw, Saint John. It was a time in 1920 when the Pope has declared John as the saint. This is a picture of George Bernard Shaw. In his young days, he was looking this way. This is a real story about a French girl. Now, this is a scene in the a type of office at that time where Robert is there, Stewart is there, and Jane enters. We'll read it. The war fought between England and France from 1337 to 1453, that is famously known as the 100-Year War. Joan was a peasant girl born in eastern France who led the French army to several victories during this war. This play began at the time when all of the northern France and some part of southwest were under foreign control. The English controlled some part and the Burgundians controlled the other. The city of New Orleans, one of the few remaining French cities, was held by the English. The year is 1429. Captain Robert de Badricourt, a military officer, is seated at the table. His steward stand facing him. Let me explain you these two paragraphs. The war fought between the England and the France from 1337 to 1453, that is known as the 100-Year War. At that time, John was growing in a farmer's family in eastern France. Later on, she, as I explained you, she got a message from the angel that she was to defend the France dauphin. After that, she tried to approach step by step the officers. Now, This play begins at the time when the northern France and some other France part of the southern west were under the foreign control, that is the England control, and the English controlled some parts, and the Burgundians are the French Adivasis who control the other parts. The city of New Orleans, one of the few remaining cities, were held by the English. The year is 1429. Captain Robert de Badricourt. Badricourt is again a French pronunciation. A military officer is seated at the table. His steward is a manager. He is of say 18 years old. He stands facing him. So it is a scene being created over there. This is a real story, children. Now, how the dialogues are being said by Robert Stewart, that is given over here. One by one I will read the dialogues. You write the meaning and I will explain you. I told you to throw the girl out. You have 50 armed soldiers and dozen of strong servants to carry out my orders. Are they afraid of her? Write down the meaning. Dozen, a set of 12. Afraid, fear. Now Robert the Badricourt, he's a captain. He is saying that the girl, that is Jane or John, has come over there and she is trying to meet Robert, and he is ordering Stewart to throw her out. Stewart, no sir, we are afraid of you. But she puts courage in us. She really doesn't seem to be afraid of anything. Perhaps you could afraid her, sir. Now, this steward is saying, is responding to Robert and saying that when we see her or when we speak to her, a type of inspiration comes in us, or we get more and more courage, and we are not afraid of her, we are afraid of you, and perhaps she might be afraid of you. Robert, grimly, here grimly meaning write down seriously. Perhaps, where is she now? Again, steward is responding, down in the courtyard, sir. Courtyard is an open place having walls. Robert goes to the window and asks the soldier to send the girl up. The girl enters. She is well built, strong, country girl of 17 to 18 years. The squire glare neither frighten her nor stop her. She speaks confidently. Write down the meaning of in this. Well built, that means large, strong. Squire, a person of high rank. Now, Robert tried to see her from the window and asked the soldier to send her up. When she appears there, she is a well-built and a strong girl. You can see her picture over here. She is a well-built and a strong girl. See her. And she enters the room and the scene begins over here. John. Good morning, Captain Squire. You are to give me a horse and armor and some soldier and send me to the Dauphin. Now here, children, write down the meaning. Dauphin is the oldest son of the King of France, who would become the king after the king died. Who would become the king? Dauphin. John enters and say, good morning, Captain Squire. Squire, I told you the meaning, officer of high rank. You are to give me a horse and armor. She is asking for a horse and armor. Now, write down the meaning of armor. Protective clothes of metal or leather. And some soldiers and send me to the Dauphin. Dauphin, I told you the meaning. Now see the next page. Robert is saying, the girl is mad. Why didn't you tell me so, you blockhead? Robert is telling to steward that this girl is mad, because all of a sudden a girl coming and saying that give me horse, give me the armor and I will go to fight is something that is very strange thing. Steward, sir, do not anger her. Give her what she wants. Steward is having much more confidence in John, and he is saying that to give her whatever she needs. Robert, I shall send you back to your father with orders to put you under lock and key. Robert is saying to John that I will ask the soldiers to take you back to your father and ask him to put you in lock and key. John, you think you will, Squire, but it won't happen that way. You said you would not see me, but here I am. Now here a type of challenge she is showing to Robert and saying that you were not ready to talk to me also, and now I am in front of you. John, you think you will, Squire, but it won't happen that way. You said you would not see me, but here I am. The meaning of here I am, that I have come all the way and I am standing in front of you. Robert, so you are assuming that I'll give you what you want. Now Robert is saying that John is too much confident that she will get soldier, she will also get the armor dress. John, yes, Squire, continues busily. A horse will cost 16 francs. It is a big amount of money, but I can save it on the armor. I don't need beautiful armor made to my measure. I can find a soldier's arm that will fit me well enough. I shall not want many soldiers. The Dauphin will give me all I need to free Orleans. Write down the meaning in this paragraph. 16 francs. It is France is a unit of money before the euro. Write down the meaning. Orleans. Orleans is a city in France. Here, John is saying that she doesn't need armor dress. She will find any soldier and she will take his dress, which will fit her. A horse will cost say 16 francs. It is a big amount of money, and so she is trying to save money on the dress. And she is saying that don't worry, other everything Dauphin is going to give him. I told you the meaning of Dauphin, children. Dauphin is the oldest son of the king of France, who is going to become the king, next king. Robert, shocked to free Orleans. He is very much shocked that how this girl of a age of 17 or 16 years is going to free Orleans from the English people or the England people. John, simply, yes, Squire. 3 men will be enough for you to send with me. Polly and Jack have promised to come with me. Children, here Polly is a nickname of Monsieur de Pologne. Monsieur de Pologne. Monsieur means Mr. in France, in a French language. So his name is Poloy and his nickname is Polly. So John is having trust in Polly, and so she says that Polly and Jack have promised to come with me. John, yes, Squire. Jack will come willingly. He is very kind gentleman and give me money to give to and he gives me money to give to poor. I think John Godsave will come, and Dick the archer and their servant, John of Arc and Julian. There will be no trouble for you, Squire. I have arranged it all. You have only to give orders. Write down the meaning here. Willingly, freely or readily. Kind gentleman or honorable man. Now here John is saying that Squire Jack will come willingly. He is a kind person. She must be in touch with that person who was giving money to the poor people. and I think John Godse will come and Dick the Archer will also come. So all these people must be her close associate, or must be she must be having a word with them regarding this, and so they are ready to associate her. Robert to the steward, is this true about Mache the Paloi? Steward eagerly, that means very quick in his answer. Yes, sir. And about Masher the Matisse? Too. They both want to go with her. Robert goes to the window and shout into the courtyard, send Mashe the Paloi to me, will you? Now here John is saying that a few associates are ready to come with her, to which Robert is very much astonished, and he says that really Mashe the Paloi is ready to come with you. He was having a doubt regarding this, and so to inquire that, he called upon Mashe the Paloi up in this scene. Now there is an entry of Mashe the Paloi. He turns to John and say, get out and wait in the yard. John, smiling brightly at him, right, squire. She goes out. Robert to the steward, go with her, stay within call, and keep your eye on her. I shall have her up here again. The steward retreated hastily. Bernard the Paloi, a French guard, enters, salutes, and stands waiting. Now, in this scene, he calls upon Mashe the Paloi up and asks John to go out. Along with John, he asks the steward also to go out, and he asks the steward to keep an eye on John. That means if she run away, again she must. Robert is going to call her back. Now, Robert. She says you, Jack, and Dick have offered to go with her. What for? Do you take her crazy idea of going to Dauphin seriously? Now Robert is asking to Masher the Paloi, that are you really going to associate John and going to Dauphin? Dauphin again here the king, the oldest son of the king. To which now Robert is answering. To which the Paloi is answering slowly, there is something about her. It may be worth trying. Now Paloi is trying to convince Robert that something different thing is there in this girl, and whatever she is saying, we believe in that. Robert, oh come on Polly. Now Polly is a nickname of this Masher the Paloi. Oh, come on, Polly, you must be out of your mind. He is saying that you are speaking something that is not true. Paloi, unmoved. What is wrong with it? The Dauphin is in Chinon like a rat in a corner. Except that he won't fight. The English will take Orleans. He will not be able to stop them. Now, here they are talking about the son of the king, whom he is calling like a rat. He is been hiding in a corner. Chinon is a place where the royal family was residing during the time of war. They were hiding there because Dauphin was not that much capable. That means they have taken refuge over there during the 100-year war. And according to Paloi, if we don't give John the Arc a chance, or Jane the chance, then the English people will take away the Orleans city, because Dauphin is not at all capable of defending Orleans. Now again Robert, he beat the England the year before last at Montargis. I was with him. Now he is trying to show that Dauphin is not a coward. He has defeated in a battle. But actually no one is ready now. All are relying on John only. Paloi. But this man coped, and now he can't work miracles. And I tell you that nothing can save our side now but a miracle. Now here Paloi is saying that the men, but his men means the people who are associating the dauphin are frightened. Coped means actual meaning coward or frightened people. Robert, miracles are all right, Polly. The only difficulty about them is that they don't happen nowadays. That means now Robert is trying to say that this girl is also, you people are thinking that this girl, John, is going to do a miracle, but that thing doesn't happen in today's world. Paloi, I used to think so. I'm not so sure now. There is something about her. I think the girl herself is a bit of miracle. Anyhow, this is our last chance. Let's see what she can do. Now here Paloi is saying that I believe in you that miracle don't happen, but we don't have any other option now left. So let's give her chance. Robert, wavering, that means hesitating. You really think that? Paloi, turning to him. Is there anything else left for us to think? Let's take a chance. Her words have put fire into me. Putting fire into me is a proverb. Write down the meaning of that. Have inspired and motivated me. Have inspired and motivated me. Robert, giving up. You are as mad as she is. Now here Robert is saying, Paloi, that you have also become mad like John, who is asking for a soldier, who is asking for an armored dress and asking me to give permission to visit Dauphin. Now students, we will wait here. We will continue our lesson in the second part.